Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're looking at Forever Fern again. I said I was going to cut out some of the other dies, which I have done, and we're going to make a beautiful card with them. So just for a reminder for anybody that's new, love you to subscribe to me and click the notification bell, because then you get to hear about everything else that I do. Everybody that's been joining me for several years now has been along with the journey, and you know that I like to go with a stamp set and coordinating dies if they are, and to find as many ways as I can to use them to make the most of what we've got. So I always say that if you've bought a stamp set or a coordinating die, it's an investment. So you want to get as much as you can out of it. So I try and show you as many ideas as I can. Forever Flourishing dies, Forever Fern stamp set. You can get them both together as a bundle and you save 10%. Now, these dies are absolutely brilliant because not only do you have the ones which coordinate, so all of these ones will actually die cut out your leaves, so you don't have to worry about fussy cutting. I know some of you find fussy cutting particularly difficult, so if you get the coordinating dies, it saves you doing the fussy cutting. So we've got this one for these little leaves, that one for the other shape of a leaf, and we've got this one for this one. So every single one of those little leaves you can die cut out. Brilliant. You also get, so I'm just going to put that to one side so you can see the others. You also get 4 of these little sprigs. I haven't used these ones yet. You get this one, which I didn't know what it was, how it was going to cut out, and I've done one now. It die cuts like this. So, oops, I've got a little bit of dimensional on the end of that. Let's get rid of that piece. So it die cuts like this, which you could use for any little sort of accent piece. You can have it as a little sort of spriggy flower coming out through the sides of it. You could put it round in a complete circle to make sort of like a wreath with it, but a lovely little addition. So really pleased with that little piece. You've then got these, which are the lovely sort of double flourishes, and as I said, would look lovely with a candle on for Christmas, or a bauble or something like that, that direction or that direction. And these die cut out, so let's move that to one side so you can see. These cut out like this. So it's really rather lovely. You also get the embossing detail on it, so you get the little veins of the leaves. And as I say, really like that piece. That's what we're using today. We've got this one, which I showed you the other day, which die cuts out like this. I've still got one left, which is the in the brushed metallic, and we've used those a couple of times. Really lovely center focal piece, beautiful. And then we've got this one as well, which is it very similar, but again you have all the veins in, and we've used that one. So we're going to use this die. Because as I said, once you get your dies, don't just put them away in their packet and forget about them. Use them, and there are so many different ideas with it. I'm also going to be starting, because we're approaching October, and I know that a lot of you like to get your Christmas holiday stuff sort of organised relatively early. As I said, I don't do it too early, but from October we're going to be doing some Christmas ideas for you, or holiday ideas. I try and do it. Not everybody celebrates Christmas, not everybody celebrates the holidays, but we are always sort of ready for doing gift ideas and doing things like that. So hopefully there'll be something for everybody within that, and that will be starting on the next video, so the beginning of October. Okay, so we're using Highland Heather, beautiful purple colour. So we've got a mat for that, and then we've got our Whisper White piece, which is 1/4 inch smaller. So I've already die cut those. I've used Thinking of You with All My Heart because it covers a lot of things. and I've just mounted that with a little 1/4 inch border in the Highland Heather. So we've got that. So we've prepared that. Then to try and get a circular part, because I want it to be circular, so we can take these pieces from here. I need to just put that there so I know my distances. I have taken from the poppies dies this circle. You can use anything that is going to give you a circular shape, and we are going to literally just stick that down so that we've got our sentiment coming at the bottom, and we want that sort of proportion. So by just placing that there, we then know where we want it to be. I'm not putting this pass up with dimensionals because we don't need it to be with dimensionals, because we're going to put the leaves with the dimensionals around it. So I'm going to do this piece first, and I'm just putting that in on the center like that, in the center. Okay, so our sentiment will go there. Then we are going to take, I have cut out 4. So I've cut 2 out in garden green and 2 out in pear pizzazz, because I wanted the contrast of the colours. So 2 in pear pizzazz. And we're going to put these in over the top. Before that, because we want that to be the last, because we're doing it as a layer, we're going to take some of the die cuts that I've already done. So I think for this one, we want the purple in the centre, because then the Highland Heather one will coordinate with the Highland Heather. And then we need a couple of leaves in on the side. So I don't want them to be too big. So shall we put these ones in maybe? That might work. Or we could take this one, but I think that's going to be too big. No, we're going to use these 2 small ones. These have been stamped in the pear pizzazz. This has been stamped in the Highland Heather. And they are these little ones here and this one here. So just stamp them out. Use the die cuts. If you haven't got the die cuts, you can fussy cut them. It's not a problem. But you won't be able to have this piece that we're doing from there. So these, again, I am going to stick them down. We're going to get some layers coming up. So I don't want to add too much in on there, particularly as I might be posting this one. So this is going to come up in on the edge. We want it fairly inside, because we're going to have the die cut leaves coming the other side. So we'll have one in one direction, and we'll have the other one in down on there like that. So it just comes in side, and then this one is going to go down in the center. Now I think I'll put this one down with a dimensional. So let me guess, I did take my dimensionals out. Here we go. So I can put dimensional in the middle. Should get one up here. And I'm just going to take a little corner piece of this, because we don't need a huge piece on here. Is that going to go in there? Yes, I think it will. Okay, so just take those off of there, and then we can put this in on the top. So that can go in on the center, just in over the top like that. So you've got your layers coming through, but not too much. We haven't stuck this down yet, because we're going to do that at the end. Now with these, we're going to have the dark one in at the top like this. Now I think I am going to glue it down, because I don't want too many layers. Now I could have done it with the adhesive foam sheets. That would have looked quite good. But I'd already cut some out because I wanted to see what they looked like. So It's quite easy with these ones to just do it with a little bit of wet glue. So just make sure you've got enough in there, and then we're going to take the first one and just put that in on the top. Now, I'm like everything, I'm not going to put it down overly at the sides because I want to make sure that I've got, this is going to come in on the bottom, this one is going to come in there to go over the top of the two. That's fine, so we can get, and the others on the other two. Okay, so I can take this one down on here and I can stick it down. We're going to have this one down at the bottom, so I'm doing the two in the garden green first, and then I'm going to do the pear pizzazz over the top. So if we put this one down, this is going to come down at the bottom. So we need to put that in centralized and put that in down on the bottom. Whoops. I'm just going to balance it a bit until I've got the others, because as I say, once it's stuck down, it's stuck down. If you don't overly stick it, which is why wet glue is quite good, because it doesn't go off for a few seconds. So you have a little bit of time to wiggle. Now I'm going to have this has got to go in over the top of that one, and then it's going to go in over the top of that one. Okay, so I can bring that down just a little bit, that one in on there. Oops, take my finger out. So we've got this just coming in so that they overlap. That's perfect. And then we'll just take the last one. And the great thing is that with the painted poppies, that die piece, which is the circle, fits absolutely perfectly, just 4 of them. It's almost as if it was designed that way. So we can have this one in on there and that one coming in like that. Okay, now we've got them all where we want. We can then just go down and just adhere all of those so they go into the circle. We can then have, I'm going to put the, we're going to have the sentiment up with dimensionals. No, I'm not. I'm just going to have that centerpiece. Again, for postage, if you have too many dimensionals, it's a bit tricky for postage. So we can get this in on the center here, like that. Then we can take our back piece, which is the Highland Heather, and we can put this on here. So we can put that in on the center. Make sure that's lined up, which I think looks really pretty. And then I'm just going to add, I've done, do you remember the other time when I was cutting off, this is the, I absolutely love this, the metallic mesh ribbon. It is just beautiful. It just adds a really lovely bit of sparkle onto anything you put it on. Well, I had a little tiny scrap over, and I've just tied it with a little bit of twine in the centre. And I thought it might look quite nice just down there as a little added piece. So what I need to do is to get a glue dot and put that in on the centre. So as I say, little bit of mesh that's over. Twist it in half to get your bit of bow, and then just tie it with a little bit of twine or anything else that you might have. And then, as I say, I'm going to put the, so my knot's going to be at the back. So let's just take a bit of glue dot from there. And then what I should be able to do is to put it down here at the bottom and press it down. If I press it down in the centre, then the sides of that will come out, and you've got a really pretty, just a little subtle bow. So I thought that that was a fun way to use the tiny little scrap up, and because it is so fine, it just looks beautiful on that. So I'm also going to get, have I got my pot out already? Or have I put it elsewhere? I've got my embellishment pot here. Right, let's have a look and see what we've got. So we've used the silver. So it might be quite nice to use some of the, yes, that will work nicely. We're going to just use the rhinestones to just add a little bit of extra sparkle on here. So we don't want the big ones, we just want the little ones. So let me see if I can get those out of the case. Come on, out you come. We've got this stuck on here for a minute. I think we have. Right, just take those out, that's it. And then I can use our pokey tool to just take a few of these, and we'll have one there, one there, and one there, I think, or one down on there, one there, just like that. So you've got three pretty little rhinestones. Rhinestones are really good because they go with absolutely everything, but obviously they will pick up the really nice little silver part of the twine. So I think a really pretty card that will suit any occasion. And we've used the Forever Fern, and we've used the absolutely lovely Forever Flourishing dies. Really enjoyed using those, and as I say, there's so much. I will be using some of them for my Christmas things as well, but I thought a really pretty card. So thank you so much for watching me. As always, stay safe and stay well and be kind. Bye bye.